It looks like the clock is winding down when it comes to the Nintendo Switch 2 and a potential reveal. Also, did a few games for the console itself just leak out? Well, maybe, but let's break that all down. Up next. What's going on, guys? It's Kalo, and I'm here to give you the lowdown on all things gaming. And if you're new here, feel free to subscribe to this channel for weekly video game news content. Drop a like on the video, and welcome to the Level Up. Alrighty, it looks like we are indeed coming up on the midnight hour for the Nintendo Switch 2. And I gotta say, it's been a long time coming. Of course, over the last few weeks, we touched on practically everything Switch 2 as far as leaks go. And that's mainly because they've been coming out left and right. And through that all, I was rather surprised despite the countless leaks around the console itself and what it looks like. The software side of things have been radio silent. Well, that's at least up until right now. But before all that, I want to address the elephant in the room and bring up this fact that gaming insider Nate the Hate made a rather bold claim that Nintendo might reveal the console this week. More specifically, this upcoming Thursday on January 16th. Now, Nate does go on to claim that this reveal will be more hardware focused rather than the launch lineup of games. And it looks like that software style of Nintendo Direct where we do get more information about the games for this console might be going down in February or early March. Now, to back all of these claims as seen in this here tweet from The Verge's Tom Warren, he corroborated pretty much everything going on here. Then a ton of major outlets like IGN picked up the story, and the rest is history. Nate the Hate also added to this story by pinning a potential launch for the Switch 2 in May or June of 2025, which the VGC at this time has also corroborated. So, as you can see, things are really starting to pick up. Now, what about that software I mentioned earlier? Well, it looks like GameSpot has a new report that pins a ton of major AAA games that will come to the Switch 2 sometime this year. These games range from various publishers like Konami, Square Enix, Microsoft, and Ubisoft, which is kinda news we already knew about. Now, let's look back to our good old friend Nate the Hate here, where he claims that Konami is looking to port over Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater. Square Enix, on the other hand, is looking to bring over Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth. And Ubisoft looks to be a huge supporter of the Switch 2, with over half a dozen titles like Assassin's Creed Mirage and Shadows, The Division, and even Rainbow Six Siege all slated for the Switch 2. Also, I've heard rumors that a game like Red Dead Redemption 2 might be playable on the Switch 2, which to me, that's the biggest deal here, mainly because that game is just simply beautiful, the campaign's also amazing, so yeah, if a game like that could run on the Switch 2, it's looking pretty damn good this year. Now to kind of get on to the good stuff, which is the first party games for Nintendo. Because let's face it, when you buy a Nintendo console, you're primarily buying this for first party games. Now, thankfully on this front, at least nothing of substance has come out in regards to this. And what remains here though is pure speculation as to what these games could possibly be. Now, from what I gathered online, it looks like Mario Kart 9 and a potential 3D Mario game is all but a lock for the launch lineup of the Switch 2. I, for one, am very happy to hear that Nintendo is indeed, at least hopefully, moving on from Mario Kart 8 Deluxe because that game has simply run its course. And I do think a 3D Mario game could either be Odyssey 2 or let's get really crazy and say Galaxy 3. And if I wanted to get really, really crazy, I'd say Sunshine 2, but you guys aren't ready to have that conversation. Now to close out here with some known titles like Metroid Prime 4 and Pokemon Legends EA. These are indeed coming to the Switch too. So if we add those titles into the mix as well, on top of all the other titles mentioned earlier, the Switch 2 will have a massive year, especially for Nintendo, and these are the games that have been lacking from these consoles. And I gotta say, taking Red Dead 2 on the go? Yeah, that's gonna be pretty fun. But with all that being said, I'm gonna pass this one off to you guys. What do you think the launch lineup for the Switch 2 is actually gonna be? This could be a mix of first party or third party stuff. Let me know in the comments down below. But that about does it here. I've been Kalo, I gave you the lowdown on all things gaming, and if you're new here, feel free to subscribe to this channel for weekly video game news content, drop a like on the video, and this has been the Level Up.